Hey guys, and welcome to part 1 of the next mission. I forgot the name actually. Let's see. It's Orchard Hill version 3. Alright, well, so, we got Orchard Hill version 3 here. Gentle from the west. Very dry. It's warm out. It's hazy. Not hazy enough to not prevent me from seeing across the entire map, so I guess it doesn't matter. So, conditions on this one, I read through. There are 2 platoons of Germans defending somewhere along this. Obviously, there's probably going to be some along this and some along this and some back here. They're most heavily fortified around the farm buildings, they say, so obviously around the objective. That makes total sense. But morale is really low because we're 5 days in now to D-Day plus 5 is what it'd be. No, it'd be D-Day plus 6, actually. So we're D-Day plus 6 right now. And these guys have been out, kind of fighting for 6 days. They were in combat last night. I'm not sure if that was the stalemate. I think that might have been stalemate, actually. So they just fought. They haven't been reinforced. They haven't been replenished on ammo. And the morale's low. And now they have to assault something that has very little cover. So it says morale is very low on this mission and is very prone to break. And if it breaks, I lose the campaign. So, I'm going to do my very best to make sure that does not happen. Now, something I'd like to talk about before I do my thing where I set this up and, say, okay, I'll see you in a couple seconds and fade out and come back in. Something I'd like to talk about first is, now I like keeping my games close to vanilla. The sound mod, I changed it because who cares about the original sound? That's not that big of a deal. I changed a few things like the skins of their faces and the skins of the weapons because those are just very subtle things that aren't huge changes. But I have found a texture replacement mod that replaces all the textures of the ground and everything, and textures of the mud get changed, textures of the grass, everything. And it looks a lot darker, a lot less cartoony green, like this game kind of has. Like this green, I've never seen grass like this in real life before. So it dramatically changes the feel of the game in a way that I think is much more realistic, but I'm not sure if I want to go ahead and make such a severe jump instead of just playing, vanilla. So I'd like to hear what you guys think about it one way or the other. So right now, I'll put up a little video somewhere on the screen where you can kind of see what it looks like, because I just did a quick flyover. And it looks a lot more realistic. The grass is a lot more correctly toned. Some things I don't like are the color of the mud, but I could always change that myself and things like that. But really, the biggest change, I'd say, is it just gives everything a way less cartoony overtone. But I've kind of gotten used to playing this way. So I know, given time, I would get used to playing the other way as well. But I kind of don't want to be one of those people that has their game severely modded out, so when other people who are used to it come look, it doesn't even look like the same game to them. We'll see. I'll make a decision. I'm thinking that's what I'm going to end up doing, because now it's harder for me to stomach the green of the grass once I've played otherwise. So I'm going to get to setting up now. Sorry for rambling. Sorry for talking about something that's really my business and not so much your guys's, but you know how it goes. I'm paranoid about every little thing I do. So, I'll see you after I'm done with the setup. Alright, bye. Alright, I'm back, and I'm set up, and I'm actually just going to go ahead and use it. I spent like an hour, and I've severely tweaked it because I thought the texture for the marshland was ridiculous. It didn't even look like marsh. And I thought the texture for yellow grass, when you zoom out, it would become yellow. So I just made them those little gray blotches instead. The only thing that still bothers me is the mini grain texture when you zoom in is real bad, or when you zoom out, but that's how Combat Mission always is. The grain pop-in is bad even in default. I don't know if there's anything to do about that. I just try to make the minis as close to what the overworld texture is, but I actually like this more because I now actually have a coherent understanding of what's mud, of what's marsh, and what's grass, what's yellow grass. It's pretty, that might actually help me tactically, because I'd never really been able to see the difference till now. I get it now, though. So we'll run this. If I get any complaints or whatever, I might switch it back myself personally, but I like it at the same time. It does look a heck of a lot more realistic. So, my plan on this one is pretty simple. I'm getting pretty much everybody out as far as they can go along this ridge, wherever there's some good cover, because down this whole thing along this train tracks, there's cover. So I'm going to get people out and looking. Exactly what I was looking for, various enemy emplacements, stuff like that. I have about half the guys staying back along this farther back ridge, and there's some harassing fire. I guess I forgot to mention that. I put harassing fire from here along this line here, thinking that there might be some enemies. It's looking like I might be incorrect about that. We'll see. There's some MG fire, but it's nothing too serious. Let's get down and dirty and take a look at what's going on. Okay, so it looks like I'm getting in position well enough. I think I might need to run it for one more turn, see how it's going. I've got my platoons up here in position. Alright, let's see how it's going. Okay, so not seeing much so far, other than that one pillbox. Spotted by who exactly? The mortar up here. Well, that's a good thing to have spotted. Okay, so my harassing fire might be just a little far forward. They've got a trench system. It doesn't probably extends farther if I had to guess. We'll see though. Okay, well this is incredibly stagnant. Okay, done. Great. This is a very weak group, I should say. I am working with some very wounded elements. They just have weak morale, weak manpower. This is going to be a very difficult mission for me, I think. You guys don't see anything? Okay, so I know there's pillboxes over there, but are they going to be able to cover this approach? Is what I'm wondering. I'm going to send out some probes already. Might as well. Second platoon is the only platoon I have that's like fully combat capable. Left out this bazooka team by accident. Okay, well I need probes. So pull off a scout team from 3rd. I suppose we'll push forward, see how getting across this is. Try to do that in every sector, I guess. it. I already know this is going to be a... It might actually... Those pillboxes probably can't hit you all the way out here, I'm thinking. Okay, I've got 3 probe teams going forward. I guess we'll run it and we'll see what happens. See if, oh, there's no way I could adjust that. Not now. Alright. Really slow moving through this marsh.
Yes, sir. Watch the flank. I see him! I see him! I want some security on those perimeters.
Well, they're pushing forward there. This is going to be a lot of water to cross. Look how slow it is. Mud and marsh sucks. There's like not enough points of cover as well. The only people that can see that pillbox are these 2 guys, or, well, basically this left flank, which means the pillbox can only see that left flank. So, I might be able to push forward. Not the best covering fire from there. I'll get that machine gunner moved up. This reminds me of Hell in the Hedgerows a lot. Sorry that this one's going to start out so boring, but not a whole lot for me to do yet. They can push through with them. My next squad up, and I'm actually going to send this next one just out. can make it to the mud. At least in the mud you can spread out. I'm not feeling very talkative today. It's hard for me to find words to say. I got a subtle headache. So I'll probably keep it pretty cool on this one. The mud sucks. Once I'm through it though. It's just gonna tire these guys out. As long as I go slowly, I should have a big enough base of fire if I need it anyways. Alright, let's run that and see how that goes. Hopefully those bunkers don't put any serious fire down on my men. I think they can pretty much only hit the guys on this upper ridge, not the lower ridge.
Want some eyes up front? This way, man! Ready to move! This way, man!
It sounded like one of my mortars took a shot at him. Yep, there's the explosion. Yeah, one of my mortars has kind of put some rounds on him, which is commendable. I'll let him do that. I have a lot of mortar shells. The road is a good way through the marsh, but I don't want to get pinned down. Ooh, that was a good shell, mortar. Hey, listen to that. On the line that I theorized, right up here. Okay, so they're putting some rounds down on somebody in the marsh. I can counterfire on that. Close enough. There's very little mortar rounds on that one, actually. Well, we'll see how that does. You know what? Breach teams, you're part of it. Gliders are hard to work with. The glider infantry are. My morale would be shot too, running through this horrible, horrible stretch of... How long is that? That's like 100 meters, yeah. Bit bigger than a football field and moving through this shitty terrain. Looks like I have all my infantry moving up and it's just the weapon teams back now, and that's good. Exactly how it should be. Probably going to call this one early. The setup really took it out of me on this one. I don't know why. See if I can identify the exact position of where that machine gun's coming from. It sounded over here, and it seems like they're pinned down now because they're not firing. Good machine gun fire. Especially coming from the light machine gun, not a heavy. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Some slow moving. Looks cool, though. Whoa. Let's identify where that came from real quick. So I can follow the tracers back. Okay. Straightforward. Is it back here or up closer? Right here, right where I'm pinning on this tree. They're just not pinned enough. Hey, I know this is an incredibly short episode, but I'll have the next one out soon since now I'm past the boring bit and we're actually getting into some combat. But I think I'm going to end this one here. I know it's a little early, I just suddenly am not feeling very well. So I'll back off of this and I'll have the next one up in a couple of days. Again, sorry about it being boring, and tell me how you feel about the new texture replacement. I think it looks a lot more realistic and just less cartoony, and I'm into that. It's also easier for me to actually identify. Well, it's not that it's easier, but it's that I learned all the different terrain for this one. So I know what marsh looks like, I know what mud looks like. So yeah, comment if you feel like it and tell me what you think, but definitely don't feel pressured into commenting. I hate all that whole comment, subscribe nonsense that people do. If people want to, they'll do it. So, hope you had a good holidays, and I hope you have a good upcoming holiday. We got New Year's coming up, so I should have a video up before then, but if not, have a good one. Thanks for watching, guys. Sorry about it being short. Bye.